What's going on, guys? We should be live. We have a problem here with our backdrop, and you guys probably noticed that there's a slight glare from time to time. It's more obvious when I go like this, and you can kind of see the glare up there on the light. And I thought it was the light, but I think I figured it out. Someone mentioned on the live, and my wife asked me last night, is it this reflecting back into the camera? And that is probably what it is. So if we take a flashlight here and we turn this on, do we get a little bit more glare? I think we do. Yeah, it adds a little bit of glare. Down here it looks fine because there's no reflection. But then up here, and it's not obvious on this phone, but I'll tell you what, man, when we get on like a full screen on a computer or something, and then I load it to YouTube, it's really obvious. So my last two videos have kind of pissed me off a little bit. See the glare here? If I turn off this light above my head, watch how clean this gets. And then I've still got a light up here. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of this. What's going on, Juan? What's up, Owen? We got the twin grips in the house. I think it might be fun to twist a screw in half live so you guys can see it real time. But these things are actually pretty impressive. We might even make a bump out for them tonight. We might even put them in a vise and see if we can just bend them, or heat them up and see if we can fix them. But more importantly, I think what we're going to be doing is finishing the wiring for this plug, that plug, and that plug, or doing a switch or something. All I know is that I need a receptacle here, like bad, because I'm running an extension cord. What's up, Jamie? What's going on? Really didn't have too much planned here. Just kind of BS, and I'm going to be doing this anyway, so I figured why not go live? Talk about plugs, switches, ground faults, whatever you guys want to talk about, tools. I think I'm going to use my Milwaukee ECX here. Just tuned in. What kind of pliers are these? These are the twin grips from Knipex, and they are very unique. Can you guys hear the washer going on? Is it kind of distracting in the background? Because I can pause it if I need to. Let me know. Twin grips all day. Kansas likes the twin grips. Some guys are just into that double grip action, I guess. Let me see here. All right, so this is what we're going to be doing. We are going to be installing, mess around with a couple of plugs, man. These plugs are like $3 each now. And a 20 amp is almost $7. I was looking at a 10 pack of 20 amps. And if you don't know, the 20 amp has the dash right here, has that line right there. That's what makes it a 20 amp on the hot side. They're like $7 each. A 20 pack or a 10 pack was like $56 or something. I was like, man, I'm not reading that right. There's no way. But yeah, these things are getting very expensive pretty quick. Yeah, Owen, we're going to be twisting some solid wire with them. That's a request that Owen had. I think we can do that. Is it good or bad, man? I'm kind of scared to know. It probably loops it in there perfectly to a straight, like, nice, tight. I bet you it works pretty good. Oh, that looks crazy. What if it works good? So, yeah, let's do that, Owen. Let's do that for you. I've got some MC here. I gotta find it. Oh my goodness. Hang on. Trying to. There we go. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, so we can't cut with them, obviously. I don't think we're gonna be able to strip with them, so. Come on, man. There we go. And this one. Okay, Ellen says twist wire with them. So we will do that. We're going to need them to kind of be stuck down here so they don't really spin on me. So I'm going to wrap them around my finger like that. Line them back up. There we go. All right. Here goes nothing. Let's find out. Oh man, they're kind of amazing. Oh man, that's crazy. Oh no, they're awesome. Yeah, effortless, man, effortless. There's no doubt about that. That is 100% confirmed. They do twist wire like a dream. Like, look, don't get me wrong, we can twist wire with, not those, hang on. I'm missing some tools, hang on. Let's get some tools. We have to get some tools. And yes, in case you're wondering, it does fit, and the drawer shuts. I need some wire nuts, actually. Proceeds to smash it in the fucking thing. It did fit. Oh no. What is this sorcery? There we go. Okay, now that brings up one question. What happens if we chuck this in the truck and turn it upside down? Hang on. What happens if we... Hang on. No, it still opens. We're good. Cool. Good to know. Sometimes, you know, sometimes your drawers will get stuck. So now we know. Drawers ain't gonna get stuck. I hate stuck drawers, man. Gotta take the whole thing off of the rail because you know, happens with clothes a lot. Or so then you got to open the door, the drawer, you know, and the kitchen knife is pulling back and you need to reach your finger in there and then push it back down. I was trying to make sure that situation wasn't going to happen. Almost wish you made the combo pliers with the twin grip teeth. Yeah, man, I think you're right. So, you know, I think we might make some combo pliers with the twin grip teeth tonight. Because I've got the tool right here. And I said I was going to do this for a while. We'd have to take the rivet out and put them in a vise. We might do that. I've got some housekeeping things we got to get done first. We might do that. The first thing I want to do, not with these screws. These screws are expensive. These are 6-inch screws. That's for, those are 42 cents each. I want to grab a brand new screw here, brand new screw, nice and shiny, okay? We're gonna grab it with the twin grips, like this. We're gonna grab our Knipex right here like this, and we're going to spin this screw into submission because the twin grips don't really slip. And let's make sure we're gonna get a good grab on them, because that screw is round. So we're gonna open them up just a little bit. They got a bunch of different settings that you can lock them in, which is kind of cool. Okay. Might be it. Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. Now, when I did it on camera, I actually used the bigger Knipex. Let's see if these will do it. Or if we're spinning the screw. I can't tell if it's spinning. That's the thing, you don't know if it's spinning until it breaks. Right now, I think we're slipping. If you guys realize, I did this on the video, and I showed you the real time of it, so you guys didn't think I cheated. Because it's not easy to do this, man. Like, you got to understand how impressive these tools are to be able to break a screw spinning it. Like, it's just really impressive stuff. I don't think it's going to do it. Oh, no. Hey, we got a twist in there. It's twisting. So, let's see. I think it's doing it. Let's see. If we pull out the infrared camera, we could probably see this heat, which would be kind of cool. Definitely twisting it. It's warming up. It's definitely twisting there. We're not I'm having a harder time than I did when I did my video, though. For sure. You can see where it's like completely twisting it. It'd be nice if we could get one last little break on there. What if we grab it like this on the top? I don't know if I can do it live, man. I'm telling you guys, I put dents in my hands to make that video. I showed you the dents. I'm going to check the chat here in a second. It's twisting, but man, it's oh, that's exhausting. Hang on. We got to get it. Damn. See if we can just break it, because the metal's twisted. America's strongest electrical inspector. I don't know how I did it the last time, man. It wasn't easy. Let's see here. Ah! I think it's slipping. Some more bite on it. Come on. We're just gonna take the W. Oh, no. Hey, that's cool. Okay, this is pretty cool. Check this out. This is actually really cool. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. You see the twist on it? It's got some legitimate turns in there. Yeah, so we are actually spinning that round metal, which is pretty much a testament to how good both of these tools are, because this is able to spin the screw, which is completely round and small and not a pipe, right? The power from these usually is boasted with the leverage and design and placement of the teeth and the cutouts and just how it all works, right? But you never really knew how much leverage you get down here until you can actually stop something from spinning with flat teeth. Like the teeth aren't cross-hatched here. I think we're about to break it. But it did not take me this long whenever I did it on the other video. It has even more turns in it now. That's pretty cool. It's almost like a little piece that you want to hang up. Like I don't want to break it, because once I break it, all the twists disappear. We're gonna break it right now. Come on, break. It's getting skinny. That was a full turn. That smashed the threads. That actually flattened out my Knipex. We just broke the Knipex on this screw. We flattened out our Knipex right there. See it? There's no more teeth right there. They left the chat. The Knipex teeth left the chat on that one. Oh, there we go. We twisted and broke it. That's pretty cool, man. The amount of strength that you get on these two tools is unlike anything, and both parts are round. And sure, we gripped this into, to where it was no longer as round, but it's still round. And it's still really impressive stuff. And yeah, I wouldn't recommend you do this. These are construction screws. They're not even drywall screws. But yeah, you can just see the shear on it. Like we didn't snap it. We literally twisted it in half. It's pretty cool. That was a workout all here, man. My arm is very tight right now. Okay, so let me check the chat. The grip strength is insane. Gentlemen, how many electricians does it take to break a screw in half by twisting it? Figure out that the Leviton smart plugs are a bad idea. I'm going to show you why right now. Wire receptacle. Insert answer here. Let me go get or actually I've got one here. Let me get an industrial cover. We're going to borrow this one. Nice. Where's my camera leaning? There we go. Okay, let me go get the bad idea, and then I'll get the real thing we use. Okay, so when we install an industrial cover, right, we actually knock off these ears, and there's lines here for breakaways, right there. We're gonna knock all this out, because this thing has to sit flush. I grabbed the wrong receptacle cover, didn't I? Where's all my receptacles at? Hang on. Let me go get the right receptacle cover. Hang tight. Hold tight. Did I really buy the wrong ones just now? I did, man. I bought the wrong ones. What in the hell is wrong with me? I've got a rectangle one here. I just gotta find it. Hang on a second. Damn. We could steal one. Dang. Hang on. I've got a bag that I just bought full of stuff. But then we did that live the other day and I put it somewhere. So you guys just get the ASMR of me looking for something, rummaging in the background. Damn. Do I gotta go steal a plug in my house to prove a point? Just go take one out of the wall so we can do this install? I think we do. That's what we're gonna do. New plan, boys. We're going pillaging. We're going pillaging. And we're gonna do it energized. Energized pillaging. My daughter's gonna be like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm stealing the plug to your TV. What does it look like? Yeah. This one. Am I wearing a belt today? I am wearing a belt today. Look at that. We can put on our Vito. Come on, camera. Get on down there. Yeah, so we'll just take all this stuff with us. Cool. We don't need a level. I'm forgetting something. I don't know what it is. We'll figure it out when we get there. We're going to go pillage a receptacle. Hey, I need a certain shape receptacle for my video, so I'm stealing it from your TV. But I'm going to install this one back. But I need this receptacle. This is my daughter's room. I built this thing. This is, it hides the TV. So when you walk in here, you don't see the side of the TV. Then we gave her a little desk, gave her some LEDs. And then even her computer has quartz. I got quartz. And then the TV's here. Okay, this is what we're doing. We are stealing that. We need that. Wait, hang on. Okay, I think that's about as good as it's going to get right there. Put you guys in all the action. I can't really reach. I'm just bumping the camera. Let me maybe right there for you. You're like getting like the POV of the install there. Highly recommend these, guys. Underrated. That's one hand. This is where I'm standing, by the way. This is me. Left hand's here. I'm just reaching like this. They're easy to operate. I have no idea what you guys just saw. Somebody asked me, why do I tape my receptacles? Well, because I do a lot of energized work, apparently. Someone also asked me why do I connect the ground last? Because I do a lot of energized work. Not that energized work is okay, but it's energized. You know, if there's no ground, you can't energize the yoke. So what I usually do, it might be easier just to cut these and put Wagos, honestly, because I've got extra wire here. If I was smart, that's what we would do, but we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to do what I'd recommend you do if you have extra wire, and that is just to cut this one here like this. And cut this one here like this. And then cut this one. Like that. Then you can restrip. We will be doing the hot first. Don't worry, I'm wearing house slippers, so I'm probably grounded. No, they got some rubber on them. We'll probably be okay. Although this isn't stripping very good. There we go. I kind of want to get a little bit more on that. Like that. I'm going to go ahead and bend the... go ahead and bend this a loop. Like that. We'll get the ground over here. Now I always do the ground last when it's energized because we can touch the neutral. Neutral's safe to touch. Should be safe to touch anyway, because we're not in between anything. I try not to touch any wires. I don't even really like touching the ground. Okay, we got our new plug. Now, check it out, look. If we touch the ground to the hot, nothing happens because there's no ground source. So what I always do, I connect my hots and neutrals where they're safe and not bouncing around. And then I land my ground on because it just makes more sense for me. If I was to land the ground here, now I can't touch the yoke to the hot accidentally. So it's just something that I do. I rarely ever connect the ground first. Unless it's a new construction situation. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the neutral on first because it's generally safe to touch. As long as you don't get in between something. We're going to land it safely here around the screw. If I could see what the hell I was doing. I might need to back that screw out. There we go. Like that. And sometimes I'll crimp the wire back around there, but I can see that this is already going to tighten itself just based on how I've got it around there. You're going to see that copper is going to close itself when I tighten, and it's going to meet the other side just like that. You can see where it got closer by itself without me having to mess with it. Now the hot, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to back the screw off completely as much as it'll go, and then we want to get the hot wrapped around this way. So we want to, and the insulation is rated at 600 volts. So you got to have some trust in what you're working with. If not, why are you working with it? You know, you can't be scared of it. Okay, hot time. Now I'm going to grab the yoke. That's why I don't want to energize. That's why I don't want to ground the yoke, because I want to be able to touch it safely. If I touch this to the yoke right now, nothing happens because it doesn't have a ground source. So I always connect my grounds last. And I always try to avoid two hands right now. This is a two-hand situation. This puts current across my heart right now if for some reason I completed the circuit. So I always try to work one-handed when I can. Right now is a situation where sometimes I'll grab another tool to hold this steady, which is never a bad idea. I try to never, ever, ever work with two hands. This whole time I've had the hand to my side. And then I'm keeping tension here so it can't fall out. We're tightening with our hand here. Now we're safe. We can touch the yoke. Nothing bad happened. We're going to spin this around and examine our handiwork here. You guys think that's wrapped around enough? It's pretty good. It's not going anywhere. It's fully underneath the screw. I like my copper to almost touch the other side. I'm going to get one more tighten on it, just for good measure, and then I'm going to screw in my unused screws. Decreases the chance of them making contact with something in the box later. And you can see how fast I'm turning here. This is literally what I'm doing. Like this. So this isn't a bad screwdriver for quickly doing that. There's a lot of good screwdrivers out there. This is actually one of them. It's a Milwaukee. It's not bad. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's pretty darn good. And then we're going to connect our ground. Just bend a loop there. Like that. Nice aggressive loop right there. We're going to be able to fully close it around there. No problem. Have extra wire up here. Squeeze. Squeeze it again. Fully on there. See where this doesn't fit that good. See where it's kind of sliding off there? Even though it's like made for it. It's a freaking right bit for it. This is why I like my Klein, man. The Klein never lets you down. Unless you don't bring it with you. Damn, didn't bring it with me. I guess we're stuck using this thing. So I've got to get some pressure behind it so it doesn't slip out. But man, it is not going good on the ground screw with this Milwaukee. There we go. We got enough there. I feel good about it. Now the Volt Claw is so underrated. What I'm going to do, I'm going to push this up like this. And I'm going to take this U right there with the flat. And I'm going to shove it all back in there. Like this, and I'm going to keep the ground away from the hot. So now the ground is tucked back on this side, which is where the hot is. We're going to spin the receptacle because I want it facing straight up and down. So now my ground is on where my neutral side is. The hot's over here by itself. Ground and neutral's on the same side, which decreases the chance of me pushing this back in the wall, having an issue later. I always do a little test fit where I push it diagonally so the screws miss the box. That way I'm not fighting anything. Then I'll line it up. That's the top one. That's the bottom one. Come on. Come on. I'm distracted right now because I'm watching my daughter's computer turn on and off a bunch. I don't know what it's doing. But it's like, it's having issues. It's ramping on and off. Oh, it just shut down. Now it's back on. I don't know what it's doing. Fan's staying constant, and the fan's plugged into the same outlet. I don't know what it's doing. It's like got like a freaking mind of its own. Okay, let's plug the TV back in. We will probably put a cover plate on it now that I have some. See, I didn't have any cover plates like this, so I just left it off. And then I didn't have any cover plates like this, so I had to steal this one. What's up, Heath Boyd? Okay. We're going to get a cover plate for that. But now we got the receptacle that we need.
You're done? You can get one.
I miss playing with wires then. Play with pipe, yeah. Okay. Let's get Let's get a cover plate. This is what we needed. See, this will never let you down. These two and this one here, it will never let you down. We forgot to bring it with us in there. Now I've got a bunch of cover plates here somewhere. Here's one. We could put it in. And then I don't know what her computer's doing. It's back on now. I might just turn it off. It might just be on like data saving or power saving mode or something. We cut on this outlet live the other day, not that long ago. Don't even need tools when you got fingernails. No, that was attached to the screwdriver. We got the screw straight up. Stops it from burning down if you put the screw straight up. Okay. Here's cool. We did it. Okay. Now to do what we were trying to do. Dang. Perfect. Okay, back to what I was saying. Oh, this light's on. Back to what I was saying. These here, these Leviton with the smart push, whatever they're doing, they're not smart. If you're doing something like this, you have to cut out so much of the plug to get them in, and that's a normal thing. So we've got these breakaway lines here, and we got these ears that we actually have to remove for these to actually work with industrial covers. These are basically useless in commercial. I think they say residential only on them anyway. Or at least they should. But yeah, we're going to show you how to do this. So we got our tabs back here that we're just going to break off. These break off here. I'll have to catch up with the chat here in a second. We're just going to break these off. And we're going to use our Kleins here. And we need these holes to stay intact because these are basically the nuts to holding our device in place. They actually screw on the back of these screws. Then the next thing we got to do, well, we're going to do a little bit of prep work because we cut the wires off of this plug here. There we go. And if your plugs aren't that hard to, remove your wires when you're done, man, you probably didn't do a good job. You really should be wrapping these so as if no one was ever going to take them off in the first place. Especially if you're getting paid to do it. You should do it right. Now we can just install this like this once we get the ears off. But what I like to do, I like to make it up first, have wires already hanging off of it. But we'll go ahead and show you how to knock the ears off real quick. So this comes off. This piece here comes off. This comes off. And you got to be careful with this one. Sometimes you got to cut this one, but you can see where it's kind of fighting a little bit. But you can see where it's going to be too tall if we don't knock it off. Some people will just cut these off with diagonals because it's a heck of a lot faster. But I would like to break it off just like the instructions, intended you on doing. That way, if you guys don't have diagonals that are strong enough to do it, you guys can see how it's done there. And then we could just cut that right there if you want to. This is a little bit sharp, but there you go. That's just in there like that now. And you can see where your screws now are not very easy to get to. You can still get to them. But once we screw this all the way in, you're kind of coming at an angle to attach to. So it's easier if you wire this thing first. So we'll go ahead and do that. So we got some MC here. Now, in case you didn't know, if you're pulling wire in pipe, your neutrals must be white unless you got number 4 or larger, and your grounds must be green unless you got number 4 or larger. So technically speaking, because we are no longer in an assembly that would be like an MC or Romex or something like that, we've got individual wires. All of our wires should be the proper color if they're not part of a cable. One thing you can do with these receptacles is a little hook right here. And you don't even need to make loops. You can just take your wire right there like that and just bend down. And you're done. And our installation, the copper is not beyond the installation there. And it makes a pretty good loop. Nice and tight. And you're going to see where this copper is going to close. Did you see it close? Because I saw it close to where it's almost touching. And you can see where we actually stripped out because that's what they do. So we go to our ECX, or EXC, what is this thing? ECX, which is a flat and a square in one. We give it that much more, and our hot's installed forever. We do the same thing with the ground here. But the ground doesn't have a fancy loop. Or does it? No, the ground doesn't really have a fancy loop. We can kind of make it work, but it's not really purposeful there. Yeah, so we got to do a loop on the ground. We'll grab some other strippers. I got some Kleins here. These are nice because they cut number 8. So they have all the useful sizes for people that are, commercial, I guess you would say, because they skip number 6. They go to number 8. And which means that you're going to wind up with a number 6 if it is, I'm trying to think, is this stranded only? Yeah, this is for stranded only. So, yeah, number 8 only. Okay. But yeah, they go from 10 to, they go, 18, 14, 12, 10, and 8. I think I got them for like 10 bucks. This is what I used to use. So we know that's going to be number 10. That's going to be 12 up there. And then you almost don't ever use 14 in any of those other sizes. But they got the loop right there, which is so good. We'll just loop that there. We'll leave that open. So what I like to do, a lot of people will get it down here and they'll have a hard time. I try to angle the wire to where it's easier for me to reach this, to where it's like overhanging in dead air over here. Then you can come back over here and grab it. That much easier to clamp it on there. Tighten that up. And then we discovered that the ECX doesn't do good on the grounds, so we're not even going to mess with it. Silver screws the white. This is for stranded only, so we're fighting a little bit on it. Go ahead and bend our loop. Nice tight loop there. See if we can sneak it around there. There we go. Nice and tight there. You can see where the copper closed in on itself. Then I like to fold your wire here. Fold your wire there. That's how it's going to go in the box. And now it's already pre-trained. So when I push in the back of the box, look what the wire does. Naturally starts to fold. So if you don't fold your wire, what happens is one goes this way, one goes that way, and whenever you go to push this into your box, you really have some trouble. Also, this decreases the chance of your screws, the wire moving underneath the screw. So now the wire is moving, not the connection point. And then usually I would tape this up. I think I want to. It's kind of weird that I'm not going to. It should be okay. We got 3 screws in it. You don't have to tape it up. I always taped everything up. We tried. There you go. You can see the installation there. These screws go through here. And the tabs that we busted off earlier are the nuts that we were talking about. Sometimes it wants to fight. There you go there. I'm going to check the chat in a second. Got one more there. Nice. And then don't forget, tamper resistant TR is required inside of houses. So we spent the extra buck and did it right. I think I'm going to Wago these to my test setup here. So these strip so much better. Let me check the chat. It's the camera. I always tape anything that touches metal boxes. Yeah, me too. I can still tape it. I probably still will. It's kind of weird that I haven't, but it's probably going to bug me enough to where I'm going to have to tape it before I put it in this box. We're just going to throw it in here. So these are energized. So that's what we're doing next. And then I think once I get this plug in, we might take down this screen because this screen adds a lot of glare. And this light adds a lot of glare. And I think the only light that I need is this one. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to just start bringing this everywhere we go. Or maybe I'll buy another one. One for this studio. And then one for outside. Because you can see where... let me see here. Is this plugged in? Yeah. No. Yes. All right. Switch is off. There we go. We wired a kill switch to save electricity because our electric bills were crazy. So this switch kills the receptacles in this room, except for the TV and my security system. So this is what you guys get. Looks actually pretty good for lighting. Nice. But yeah. Yeah, because the last couple of videos I've made, man, it had too much glare. Like you can see, as soon as I start coming out here and I start turning on these lights here, especially this one above my head, you can see where it starts getting really foggy really quickly. And I actually took a 4K camera, filmed everything, and the program thought that it was in 1080 because of all the freaking glare. So, yeah, that's when you know it's time to change your lighting. When you take a 4K camera and then it processes in 1080. Yeah, it's whitewashed. Never backstab receptacles, by the way. It's a common failure to troubleshooting problems or low voltage because wire comes out. That's absolutely true. Thank you, sir. What's that, Tools and Souls? The grounding conductor and the grounding conductor the same side. It's not backwards. Oh, yeah, probably. All your wires are put in backwards, and you have poor technique on curving the wires. Appreciate it. You have to ground wire the wrong way around the screw. No way. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Might look backwards. Unless I wrapped it in the other wrong way. In the other room is backwards? Or this one? Yeah, the camera could make it look backwards. Oh, I see. I see you guys. I see you guys. We're good. We're good. We're good. Okay. Let's plug this in and I kind of want to find another three-way switch. I wonder if I have another three-way switch because we could do some three-way action tonight. That might be cool. Ultimately, what I'd like to get is a receptacle here. I need to get this reflective thing off the wall. And I'd like to get some wires hanging out of the wall. They don't necessarily go to anything, but enough to where we can like have a mock-up troubleshoot, which is why I mounted these boxes so close to each other. Is because on a vertical format like this is, it all fits on this camera screen. And you can see that they're coming from different locations. So we might put one more box and go where this is and just do another 90 up here and then mount the box, but we have to remove the piece of glass first. I think is what we're gonna do. Stupid mirror image, yeah. Yeah, it can look backwards depending on how I flip the camera. That's funny though. Okay, let's see. I've got, how much wire do we have? Oh, we got plenty of wire. Okay, let's push this in here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay, so we got enough wire here, and we got enough for here too. We need one more conductor for a three-way switch though, so we need another. I might have to take apart some Romex to do it. I want to leave it long as well. Cool. I think we will be taking apart some Romex and then shoving two more in. Yep, that's what we're going to do. Now, there's a reason why you really can't do this. Because we have what we call listed assemblies. So right now, all of the information about this wire is on the sheathing here. If you pull this wire out, we don't know what it's rated for. Because all the markings are not on the wire, they're on the sheathing. So if an inspector sees this, they can claim, you took apart a listed assembly, basically. So just remember that. Right now we are dismantling a listed assembly. So even when you strip MC and you run it down a EMT connector with a rigid coupling or whatever you're doing, you are kind of voiding the UL listing of the whole thing. The easiest way to do this is to just keep it straight and it comes right out. But we only had about 10 feet to pull, so. Also, what's good about this is this will help us identify our travelers easier because we've got our MC wire, which is already twisted together, and then these will be kind of by themselves. So this is cool. Wait a second. This would be our hot. This would be our hot because I'm going to put my receptacle here. So this would be the constant hot. So we want to put our travelers here. And then I think it might be fun to put, instead of putting the light here or there and making it easy, we are going to come out here, put our light here, and then that'll mean we got to run more wires to control our light to go back to here, just to make it confusing for you guys. So yeah, this will be our three-way switch here. Perfect. Yeah. And then we're not going to hook up this I do need a ground screw. We need a ground screw. Ground screw. And this circuit's already got GFCI protection, so we don't really have to worry too much. This is one of the reasons why I like the Klein slide drive, because it switches to 5/16, just like that. And it's like a 10-in-1, so you get all the benefits of a 10-in-1 if you need the 3/8 and all the different sizes. But when you go to 5/16, it actually has a magnet on it. So it just works really nice when you go to install a ground screw, like in a bell box or something, for example. You can reach back there. Or you can reach back there and get it. All right, we need some green ground. Uh-oh. I'm worrying I fell off my hot. We're making a pigtail right now. There we go. Might change your angle. It's hard to see and see what you see and do all this, man. We need a camera guy. We need a camera guy. Cool. Here's a question. Do you guys think this panel is grounded? How do you know something is grounded? What does grounded mean? Well, electrically, if you want to know something's grounded, you would think of, is it safe to touch? Typically, things that are grounded are usually safe to touch. They're not going to be energized. If they did get energized, they would go back to the source. You could also say, is something grounded where does that box's enclosure or the enclosure attached to a ground wire? You can look at it as the whole system grounded where the neutrals and everything's intact, or maybe it has ground rods. When I say is something grounded, in my head I think, can I get a potential to it? That's what that means for me. So if I want to know something's grounded, the best way to know is to get a multimeter in here. And one of the best ways to know something's grounded is if you can get a voltage on it. So we will turn on, got VAC right there. The hot is definitely energized, and the neutral is grounded, by the way. So when you say something grounding and grounded, it actually means the neutral's grounded. So you got the grounding, which is green right here. Green grounding conductor. White is a grounded conductor. So if we go from, here we are again with the touch to hand-to-hand ratio kind of deal that I was telling you guys about. I kind of want to get some alligator clamps or clips. Let me get an alligator if I've got one. I might take you with me actually. I usually keep an alligator. Yeah. Yeah. These are underrated, by the way. If you can get your hands on these, the meter leads go right in. Underrated when it comes to troubleshooting and stuff. Yay. Okay, so go back to what I was doing. Sorry guys, the stream is a little sporadic sometimes, but there's good info, I promise. Okay. So one of the first things I do before I even check anything on my multimeter, I make sure my leads are plugged in because they don't look like they're plugged in right now. The best way to know is go to continuity here and touch the leads together. And we got a beep. We got a beep, and we also got an ohms reading, which is a measure of resistance. So now we know that our multimeter leads are touching. The next thing that you should do is test it on a known live circuit, but we're not going to do that. Then once we have plugged into another extension, we want to check our extension to make sure the extension works. And we can hear, yes, the extension does work. Now we're good to start plugging. So now we're on our hot. We just checked our hot to ground here using continuity. We just tripped our GFCI because we were reading through this meter. Just tripped our GFCI just now. So we're gonna reset that. Which is right here. Come on. Perfect. Oh my goodness. I'm doing this backwards. Hang on. No? What are we doing here? There we go. The sorry. That's better. This is a better camera. Okay. Perfect. So, continuity, hot to ground touching, trips breaker. Go to voltage here, volts AC. Turn the light on. And we're getting 120. So the question is, do you guys think that this panel is grounded? Because we know this ground is obviously working. It's connected. We're getting 120. If we were to touch our panel, do you think we're going to get 120? Do you think our panel's grounded? We got 4 or 5 Romexes going in there. The whole thing is landed. Let's look inside the panel. Let's see if our panel's grounded. Remember, this panel's not actually being used. So when we look at things like this, we're kind of evaluating our risk of what we're getting ourselves into, right? If you're leaning against an air conditioner while you're working on the disconnect and you're touching the AC, you are grounding yourself. If you've got a little bit more housekeeping pad or curb in front of a switchgear, that's a grounding point. And all that's addressed in 110.26 in the NEC for working clearance. So, I don't think that this panel is grounded. It's made up, it's got some trash in it. It's we got our line side here. This is the main breaker here, right? And we've got one wire here. The neutral's there. Neutrals are isolated because it's a sub panel. And then we got our feeder ground installed, and we don't have machine style screws in there. That's factory screws to the ground bar. No, panel can's not live, sir. So, question is this panel grounded? Let's find out. I don't think it is. All this wire, is it grounded? We're getting 89 volts, which means we are not actually truly grounded. We have, through a series of continuity, we have enough metal touching in different places, but touching this likely would not trip the breaker. If we touch this hot to this can, I don't know if the breaker would trip. And if it did, it wouldn't clear in the same amount of time that it should. So when we look at clearing time, when we're looking at a ground fault, because this would be a ground fault if we were to jam this in here, right? This panel's off, by the way. It's not even connected on the other side. This is going to be a backup generator panel. I've got my generator feed coming in. This is just essential critical loads that are in the attic. They're not even connected. No wire in this panel is connected to anything. This panel is completely dead. All the wires are in the attic, rolled up. Nothing is connected here. So, but in the most roundabout way, you know, somehow we're touching something metal. So when we ran a connector, something on this is giving this a potential, but the potential is not 120. If we go to our ground wire here, this is our ground to the actual circuit here. I'm going to have to move my camera. There we go. This is the ground to our actual circuit. This goes to our GFCI. We get 120, 121. Clean. Clean. We go here. We get 89. We go here. We get 88. So when we're looking at is something actually grounded, you're looking at your potential and your risk, basically, is what I think of when I think something is grounded. Of course, grounded is your neutral, like we said. Grounded, the definition of grounded would be your neutral, and grounding would be your green. Code book says that. But when you're just talking, just verbalizing something, is it grounded? I'm thinking, does that have potential to create a nominal voltage that we would use? The answer is no. This panel is actually not properly grounded. So if we touch this hot to this panel, it probably would trip the breaker because we have a GFCI on it. I don't think it would trip the breaker, though. I think that it would trip the GFCI. Floating is the word. That is a good word for it. Another thing is that this circuit is tied to my internet. So I don't want to know if it would trip the breaker, which is one of the reasons why I put a GFCI. I hate GFCIs in my garage, even though it's code. But that's another story. I wouldn't do any of this dumb stuff for you guys if it didn't have a GFCI on it. That'd be really reckless. So first off, we do have a GFCI, and this panel is completely off. This circuit's on, and it's got GFCI protection. Doesn't mean that I'm 100% safe, but best case scenario, right? Because it's a GFCI, it actually limits what I can show you guys on camera when I try to do something stupid. The breaker just trips anyway. I don't think I'm going to slam it in here, but I can tell you right now that if I was to touch this hot, this would definitely shock you because it does have a potential, but it doesn't have the cleanest potential. It's not the source. If I was to ram this into the panel, the breaker would not trip as fast as what the engineers designed it to, because this has no reference back to the neutral cleanly. So it's all about your path back to the neutral wire is what trips ground faults. There's really not a reliable one here. This is the best case scenario to actually set your house on fire, because what happens is this hits this metal and it sees a lot of resistance, which is a bad thing, because resistance means that you're not directly connected to whatever it is, right? Whether it could be any connection. If you have high resistance, you don't have a very good connection. In this case, we want a low impedance path to ground to facilitate the operation of an overcurrent device. Basically, that's verbatim in the code. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get current off of the case and back to the neutral as fast as possible at the source. If we were to touch this panel, it would do damage to the wiring of this house, because the breaker would likely not trip as fast as it should. We also might see a more violent explosion, more than just a quick pop. You might get huge arcs and sparks. And that's something that you might see if you're trying to trip a circuit at some dude's house. You're not really familiar with the house. I feel like this dryer is really loud. Is that really loud, guys? All I hear is freaking hissing. Why is the garage circuit connected to my kitchen? Russ, did you say that thing's loud? We want to find out for sure. Well, we know this isn't connected to anything. It's not even landed in the panel at all. Do it? It would probably just turn off the breaker. It's on the GFCI anyway. So it's 100% guaranteed to just trip my GFCI anyway. Because I can't even check continuity without tripping my GFCI. Like we're extra safe here. So like, see how we got voltage here? We got 120. If I put this to continuity, look what happens. We just tripped this. We just tripped it. See? It's off now. So I know that nothing will happen in this case because of what it is. Make a cheater cord with the plug you just had. To energize it backwards. Yeah. You guys want me to ram it on there? All right, I ram it on there. Put a 1 in the chat to ram it on the panel. See what happens. You might see some sparks. It won't be violent though, because it's just got a GFCI on it. Oh man, we got a 1. Okay, we got a 0. Good. Dang, we got a lot of 1s. I was agreeing that you would damage the wiring in the house. Yeah, it will damage the wire in the house if it doesn't trip. Okay, what I'm gonna do, we are gonna ram it on there, but I'm gonna grab some diagonal cutters in case it welds. Because if it welds, it gets kind of crazy when they weld. Because you got to cut them really quick. It's probably going to trip because here we go. You ready? That's crazy. That's crazy. I think that's energized, guys. Hang on. I'm surprised it didn't trip, man. We got GFCI on that. Hang on. Yeah, dude. See, this is what I'm telling you guys about. You see that? We didn't even trip the freaking breaker. We didn't even trip the damn breaker. Listen, listen. Look, like we are like fully on there. Look, this is what I'm telling you guys about grounding. Holy hell. I had a feeling it wouldn't do it, but I also thought that it might because of the GFCI. But this is just how crazy wiring can be, guys. This is a really dangerous situation because we are protected with the GFCI, but there's no reference back to the neutral on the GFCI. Yeah, it's truly floating, Owen. I didn't think it was that floating because we were getting a reference. So usually when you get a reference to voltage there, you would think that the breaker would trip somehow. So that's pretty impressive. What we can do now, we can do something fun. We can put this hot stick right here, and we can show you that it's energized. Let me switch it. There we go. This is why I don't like this. I don't like this tester, dude. What the hell? There we go. So watch. There we go. Freaking tester, man. There we go. There we go. We just energized the case without tripping the breaker. Case is energized fully. This is why it's so damn important to ground your stuff, guys. We got a panel here. No, exactly. The panel's not connected to anything. This is just showing you guys. If you guys aren't going to connect your grounds, it don't matter how many freaking grounds you have in somewhere. If it don't have a source, you are not going to trip the breaker. So we can do this backwards now. We will take the ground here, right? We will energize this panel. Don't do this at home. Energize this panel. Panel is energized now. Now we're going to get a voltage to the case of the panel. Yeah, 89 VAC is a super high impedance path, which is why you don't want to do this, because you will actually heat up the wire slowly. So we could pull out the infrared camera. That might be kind of cool. You think 89 volts is the ghost voltage? Getting 120 there. I think it's high impedance. I think that we might heat up this wire a little bit. I think it's pulling load. If you ask me, I think it's pulling load. Let's find out. We're going to get an infrared camera. Hang on, I got to go get it. Should be here. Oh man, it's so tiny. I can lose it so fast. Here it is. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, I think it's pulling load. Yes, I do. Camera. One of the best freaking deals for an infrared camera we might ever see. So what we're looking at right now is infrared, right? You can see my fingers there. Okay. We're going to be watching this wire to see if it heats up. Again, do not do this at home. That wire does heat up, guys. That wire. Get out of here, light. Let's take this off. Wire disappears. I'm holding the wire right now in my fingers, okay? You can barely see it. Okay? Connect the wire. I can see it on my screen. Let me see here. Okay, wire there. Wire there. I think the wire gets darker. Maybe not. Measure amps. Oh, that's a good one. Why don't I think of that? What's wrong with me? Thank you, sir. Might be 0. Let's see. What if it's not? Oh, Ellen called it, man. Ellen's so good, dude. Ellen knows his stuff. Okay, so it's not pulling anything. Oh. Hang on. Is that a ghost? Oh, that scared the crap out of me. Hang on. Hang on. Yeah. Well. Yeah, I think it's just a ghost. Let's go, Stanbridge. Damn, that dryer's loud. JC Fire Security. I'm an NEC registered electrician, and that fuse box looks strange as hell. Haha. Perfect. Thank you. This is a GE. GE. That's the main. It's not connected to anything. It is for YouTube, for show. Has no ground source. Has no ground reference, which is why we are able to energize it. So right now, it's energized. Has no reference to ground. And despite all the wires that you see, when I take this wire off, breaker don't trip. How much would I charge for this job? I think would not pass. Yeah. Well, actually, there's nothing wrong with this. The only thing really wrong with this, if you want to get technical, would be that this is number 6, but it's on a 40 amp breaker. And I think you need a 60 amp breaker for a sub. But this is your retention because this is the main. And then these are just branch breakers. And then this is interlock. There's an interlock on this. How much would I charge for this job? This is nothing. Don't pay anyone for this job. We're going to turn off the There we go. Turn off the GFCI. So this should be safe to touch. We're going to make sure. Check voltage here. Yeah, we're good to go. Okay, I think we're going to leave about that much wire. We'll cut them all at the same time because I'm fixing to put my fingers all over it. It's a good way to know. Cool. We're not going to connect any of these yet at all. We're not going to connect anything here because that's going to go over here eventually. I think maybe we will. 19 months in this master. Respect my authority. What's going on, Apache? What's going on, buddy? Yeah. Surge protector. Are you guys enjoying the freaking racket this thing is making or not? Like, it's driving me crazy. I'm having to talk over it, so I feel like it's loud for you guys. For example of why one hand rule is used. If you ain't ground, yeah, exactly. That is absolutely why I use the one hand rule. It's also why I connect my grounds last when I'm working energized circuits. I think I might hook it all up. We'll hook it all up. I think it's got 9 minutes left. I could probably pause it. I could pause it right now and it would be good, but it wouldn't drain, so I can't pause it yet. Should we use Wagos? Are we using Wagos in the chat? Does anybody know? I gotta find some Wagos. I want to keep all this in here for future so I can make better videos or more videos. So yeah, we're gonna do something a little bit different than your typical makeup. We're going to leave a lot of extra wire purposely. Like a lot. And then I think I got a four-sided Harbor Freight Wago. Try to arc flash weld them. Yeah. I don't use stab locks in the receptacles, no. Split bolts. I got a Polaris. Just put it underneath one lug. Savage. We got 7 minutes for that washer. And then we get some peace and quiet. Look at that. That is a Harbor Freight special, I believe. Oh, we got a couple of Harbor Freight specials. You have 4? Oh, dude, I found my other 3-way switch. Yes, we're gonna be installing a 3-way switch. Because I have 2. Had 2. I miss my Knipex auto strippers every day, man. I think I sent them to Kansas. They're so expensive though, but they were actually nice. Like, I actually like the auto strippers from Knipex. I know I talk a lot of crap about some Knipex tools and I test them rigorously, but the auto strippers are really, really nice. Oh, I got a request from Owen to spin all the wires. You know what? I think I will. We will do that. We will do that because these are the grounds. And man, I really don't think I'm going to be opening this box back up. I'm leaving all the wire really long purposely. But I think, what the hell? But I think that we will do that. I'm going to strip these extra long because of that reason. Okay, somebody requested to use the twin grips to twist all the wires together. And this is one of those situations where we might actually want to do that. Haha, gotta close them. Let's see how they actually feel. Man, you get a lot of control on them too. And they sit right in that groove as you're making up the wires. Now they eat a lot of copper. But look at that joint. It's really tight. Dude, these might be the goat right here. I'm sure we're losing a little bit of copper on there. But that's never coming undone, ever. That's crazy. Okay, so these makeup joints, that's 4 number 12s. This thing's never coming undone. You can say what you want about the bottom there. I got a little bit carried away just seeing what I could twist. Don't worry guys, I fully intend on putting a Wago on it. Ah, piece of shit, it doesn't fit. Hell yeah, looks like crap. I like it. Yay, my dryer's done. I think that was probably the washer actually. We're trying to leave the wires like super long, guys. I do enough demonstrations and different things to where it just doesn't make sense to cut these nice and pretty for one video and then have to re-pull all this wire, re-land it back in my GFCI. But we are going to be testing the Wagos. So we are going to be using the Wagos. So do you guys like these, man? I just don't trust them. I just don't like Wagos, man. They're okay, and they snap, and they push, and they just, I don't know. What do you guys think about Wagos? The box will fit. The plug's not that deep. It'll be fine. You know what I like more than the Wagos right now? Is these right here. I like the Ideals. The Ideals have a higher rating. The Ideals are 450 volts and 32 amps right there. And the Wagos are 32 amps, 450. Oh, damn. Same thing. My bad. My bad, guys. Same thing. The little test port on the back. Merry Christmas. What's up, Budsville? What about the Ideals? You know what I kind of like about the Ideals is that the clips don't go towards the wire. That's one thing that's different on them. Let's see how easy they pull out versus the Wagos. And then just slam it back in there while it's shut. Let's see what the Wagos do. Yeah, it's about the same. It's about the same. There's a lot more play in the Wago when you install it. There's a lot. It's easier to get in there and snap it down, but that's not necessarily a good thing because look, it's definitely got a lot more play in there. It almost felt like this thing like accepted the wire in there and it didn't move when I plugged it in. Yeah, see that? You see that? When I put the Wago on, I can't really. It definitely bounces off. But the blue ones, man, they kind of lock in. I kind of like the feeling. They feel like just a little bit more, you know, in there, I guess you would say. Interesting. I feel like that's way too much wire. hanging out. Hell yeah. And then the whole reason why I really don't like these is because once you attach all this stuff, right? This is 12. Once you attach all this stuff, as you're rolling it back in the box, like the wire is twisting, right? And Wago's biggest weakness is twisting. So if we twist this a couple of times, look what happens to my connections. I'm not even pulling. I'm just twisting. So let me do that again for you guys so you guys can appreciate. So we got them plugged in, right? We'll snap it. We'll give it the pull test. They're in there. We are not going to pull. I'm going to, if you see my finger go this way, let me know. I'm only going to twist. There you go. You see that? Did you see that? I just twisted. Here, we'll put it back in. We'll put it back in and then we'll check the Wago. There. Push this one back in. They're all locked in. You can see the margins there. I might even draw a Sharpie on it if I had one. I'm going to spin it this way and then spin it this way. And if you look, we will put... I don't know how to show you that I'm not pulling. This is pulling. So I'm just going to spin this like this. Right? And then I'm going to spin it back down. And then I'm going to spin it again. And just keep doing that. And I'm not really pulling. The wire's pulling itself because it's under tension. So when these things are made up and it's a good connection, and then you really start pushing on the wire, and the wire's, you know, doing its spinny thing while you're pushing back in there, I don't know, man. Like, see the margins there? See the copper hanging out? Push it back in. Push them all back in, actually. It's just hard to beat a wire nut. I mean, I'm sure in the UK and all those places where they have cord and they got stranded wire and it's more rubberized and the wire isn't so damn springy, right? It's probably fine. But let's just see. Let's give these a couple of twists and let's see. We're starting to get some movement there. That one came out. They're both out. And it's always been that way. So if you get if we get one of these little stabs, and I've wired so many things with these guys, it's ridiculous. I actually trust these, right? But if you twist, they will come out. So it's just a weakness of all push-in connections. And then because you're twisting it, which is how you're moving, right? The instructions say twist to pull. Here's the deal. The wire is always under tension if it's solid. So with every time that you go to like push the wires in and you're finished making up your box and you're pushing this wire here, you know, your wire is spinning. You can see where that just came loose. See that exposed copper right there? See that exposed copper right there? Just from naturally pushing. I'm going to push it back in. We'll push them all back in. We'll pull this out here. Right? We're done making our joint. I'm not even going to touch this, okay? We're just going to shove the wires back in the box. Okay, let's see the connections. Looks like they did not move. But what does it take to make a move? You know what I mean? Like it's hard to beat a wire nut, guys. You got copper on copper connection. Seeing wires pop out is a no-go? Yeah, for me too. Number one cause of electrical problems is caused by loose connections 9 times out of 10. It's an issue in a matter of months. Yeah. You look at some of the vehicle chargers that are getting installed. Now my problem with this now is that I no longer trust this copper because we've spun it so many times. So we are going to leave a Wago on here because they're listed, they're tested, blah, blah, blah. Sure, whatever. But not looking like that. Like you see how shiny they are? There's no way that's not going to be an issue. Listen to how poppy these things are, man. These are not sharp. Feel like I gotta get them all the same length too, versus just twisting them all at different lengths and then cutting them one time after. I feel like, yeah, Wagos are easier, but I feel like there's a little bit more steps than just grabbing the crap and twisting it all together. I feel like I want to take my time with these a little bit more versus just throwing them underneath my clients and going. 100% though, these have less play than the Wagos do. Like, see this? See this here? I'm gonna open them up now. Watch. So we pull these off. You can see how they barely want to come out. Actually having to fight them. And then we pop in a Wago. We're going to close it first. There. So, Wago's intact. Open it up. And I feel like they try to pop out as soon as you touch it. So, I kind of do like the ideals. The way that the wire kind of like plugs in better. And there's less play. 100% about that. Look at that. It's not even locked. Yeah, they plug in there nicely. But is it going to spin out when I cram this thing in the back of the box? Who knows? Probably. Probably. Let's get this. No real electricians use Wagos? Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, there's a time and a place for it, man. I've used them. I used them in my father-in-law's house when they first came out. And I was like, well, if your house burns down, we'll know, you know. But I've used them for a couple of things. They're good for really tight situations, existing work. Big spacious junction boxes with lots of room. The wire's not going to get moved around a whole bunch. But it's hard to deny. It's hard to deny the good connection power of, you know, just copper on copper, man. Copper on copper is where it's at. I really think that. Because it's just, I don't know how to explain it, man. This connection here has to connect to this, which has to connect to that. So if you have one failure on one point, your copper is not directly touching each other. at any point. So even if your wire nut failed, if you have a good joint, you know, you're not going to have any issues, basically. I'm not a fan of that. See how that rolls over like that? If you ever start to make a joint like that, just stop. Just stop. Reassess what you want to do. What we're going to do, we're going to take this wire here. We're going to lay it right there, like this. We can go all the way over, or we can go just right on top. But it's going to make a way better joint. I'll show you. Tie these two together. And then we'll roll this, get them all the same height. And then shout out to Owen for showing me the twin grips to make up joints, because they are not half bad. Well, they're kind of bad. So if you're trying to grab an individual wire, they ain't gonna do it. So you got to grab it by the edge. So if you're trying to like get your wire to lay on top of another wire in a certain way and manipulate it like that, you got to grab by the edge. But man, I would have never thought to use these to make up a joint. This joint is kind of shitty. That is a very shitty joint. What we got going on right now, we got this bottom wire here. And then we got this one, and then we got this one. They're all different heights. That's not what I'm about. So we are going to fix that right now. But right now we're just kind of playing a little bit with different things. So we want to try to make up a joint with these, because I think eventually I want to cut a notch in these so they're better at making up joints. The pre-twist thing is exhausting to watch. I've always pre-twisted, man. I've never not pre-twisted. I was just playing with the twin grips. So now Russ says don't do a pre-twist. We can test that too. I've always pre-twisted though. Russ just puts them close together and then just goes for it. Let's do it. We got them close together. Instructions say to do this too. You can see where we're starting to twist the wire itself. Getting a nice joint on there. Let's see what the height of the wires are when we take this off. Pretty good, not too bad. What can make this better? See, this is a pretty damn good joint, very quickly. What can make this better is if we actually cut this off flush right here, like this. Now our wire nut is guaranteed to get an even grab on every one of these. That's a pretty damn good joint right there. And you can see where we got that much more bite on the wire nut. We were able to tighten it even more. It's a good method too. I think we're running out of wire. We could do one more cut. I was just going to make another joint. We already saw a really good joint. I'm going to close this box up before I cut this wire too damn short. But first, I gotta tape this. It's killing me inside if I don't tape it. And I gotta put the infrared camera away. And dude, I think the video that I did on this got like 45,000 views or something crazy on it. And somehow I only made like $6 on the video. 45,000 views, they gave me $6. Crazy Cow says moo. What's up? Do I even want to show you my drawers? Dare I show you my drawers? How unorganized they are. I don't know where any electrical tape is off the top of my head. There's some electrical tape right there. Hang on. I'm trying to think where the electrical tape is. Oh, I do know where some electrical tape is. Huh, at least I thought I did. I thought I had some electrical tape in here. We do not have any. Look at those beautiful tools. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being an apprentice, man, and having this set for less than $100? It's pretty crazy. Show us 4 more ways journeymen don't do it. Hey. What are you doing? You want to hug goodnight? It's 11:30. Let me give you a hug goodnight. Oh no, there's tickle spiders. All right, love you. Good night. Good night.
Put those away.
Can't reach. Good night. Right you. I'm looking for tape right now. What kind of electrician don't have no tape? I don't even know, man. There's a mile of it here somewhere. There's usually a mile of it. Do I just use blue tape? Blue tape and confuse the chat. Just wrap the receptacle with blue tape. That's what we're gonna do. That's terrible. I'm going no tape. We're going tapeless. Don't tell anybody I went tapeless. Are the screws in the box? There are no screws in the box. Nice. I was short on E-tape the other day. Do you want to put a cover on? Yeah. Just a little. Actually, no, I don't think I've ever not put a cover on. Because the trick is you just push the cover all the way back. That way you make sure that you're not going to, you know, jack anything up. And then once the cover is all the way set back, you're not really going to regret life too much. There we go. Okay, now we need to turn the GFCI back on. Wait, hang on. Did we wire that? We did wire that. We wired all of that shit together. Hang on. This would be energized. This one. This one will be energized. So we got to do something about that. Because it's going to be energized, I think we want to attach it to a ground. So, does anybody know how these work? Because now would be a good time to tell me. I've never ever used one of these. If I was a guessing person, I would say that they go in like that. Or maybe they go like that and then get banged in. They go like that. do these work? I appreciate it, Crowd Crazy. What, how do these work, guys? I'm not even pretend like I've installed one of these before. They're listed. They should be allowed. We could just install a ground screw, but that would be too easy. Plug on front. Oh, I do see a little dot there. I see a little dot there, so they slide in that way. You put the ground down and just slide it on there. That's crazy. They don't even look like they're easy to install. They look like a freaking nightmare. It's probably enough. Okay, let's see here. Get in there. Get in there. The camera's way too close to me right now. Keep bumping it. Okay. All right, so we got our wire. Our wire is there. Now, do we slide that over there? There ain't no way, dude. Is that how that goes? Put wire through hole, push and tab with a hammer. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wire through hole. We didn't strip it enough, did we? Okay, so we need a... They ought to come with instructions on this thing. I like how I keep grabbing a different hand tool every time to strip this wire, because I left my other strippers in the other room behind the TV. Okay. Here's your nail clipper. Okay, here we go. Put wire through hole. Wires through the hole. What the fuck? Is this for bare grounds? Wire through hole. Wires through the hole. Check. We have wire through hole. Tap on with Kleins. So it's going to hurt if I hit my finger. That's a first. That is a first. Actually, you know what? Oh no, I was going to say I actually like it, but this is questionable because it moves around a lot. Better with stranded, huh? Okay, we can slide it, but no, it actually, man, not terrible, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It's so weird. Cool. Okay, that's all I wanted to do. Here's the deal. Because we're going to energize this box, which is directly connected to this box, and we have EMT and all that stuff, I wanted to at least have this box properly bonded if we were going to have energized conductors in it. 100% improper? How do you do it? Look at it fall it out. What the F? Is it backwards? I would strip more back. Hook the clip, and then tap it on. I agree with you guys, but you got to get a cover on this. So it's got to be like low profile, right? Or are you supposed to hook it? Like I'm with you guys. I would rather hook it too. We still can actually. We may as well. Hang on. Oh, that's OP. Oh, that's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. Let's see how it moves. It still moves like crap. That's crazy, man. They sell these at Home Depot, man. Do the YouTube University. You can hook it to, yeah, I agree with you now. That's why it's like that, to hook it. Okay. Yeah, you can hook it. Oh, okay. So these are no longer a nightmare to install because you hook them. So what you do is you get your wire here, I think. Let's see if we can do this. You get your wire. You strip it on your number 12 stripper because you're not paying attention. There we go. We bend a loop first. Just a little crappy one. Nothing too special. We get our clip here. We hook the wire through. Okay, hang on, guys. Can we loop it very easily? Yeah, there we go. And you spin it. This is terrible. Okay, no. So you gotta strip more. Okay, so we gotta strip more. Hang on, we're gonna figure it out. This is why we left the freaking wire so long. And this one's not. We're not set in stone on this one. Like this can be pulled out. This is why we left this long. Okay. So you strip it. If it was me, I would try to loop it first, because if you don't, it's not going to stay on there very easily, right? And then you slide this over here. Yeah. Like, jeez, let go. It's not even hooked, and it's like not letting go. This is terrible. And it just falls off. Okay. Digging forever with that box, yes sir. Take my time on my boxes. What the hell? How, man? Okay, it goes like this. So we should be able to go like this, but we can't. Okay, so it's a huge hook. There's no way someone's actually using these, man. Who's buying these at Home Depot that they keep selling them? There's no way. I refuse to believe that somebody is buying enough of these for Home Depot to continue to sell them. Okay, so we got a long hook on here. Okay, so we got a long hook. Now we can start banging, I guess, because the wire's like there, right? Kinda. Good enough. Can we bang it with one hand? I give up, man. There's no way. Like that is crap. That is crap. I refuse to even do that. Where are my ground screws? We just had a bag of them. Uh-oh. I think we used our last one on the on that other box. No, we got one more. We got one more. We're good. We are good. Where is the wire? Okay. Yeah, there ain't no way, man. If you see someone installing these on your job site, question their sanity. They might be cheaper, but they're not worth your time. There's no way. Anthony says I'm leaving. This cannot be real. Yeah, exactly, man. I'm with you. See if we can just, let's see if we can just sneak this on here like a professional. There we go. There we go. You guys are not getting a good view right now. There we go. I can't move to get my hand out of the way so you guys can see. Hey, did you guys see that? My client handle just slipped in my hand. It's not the first time it's done it either. Watch this. Let's mark it with a fingernail. See that chunk right there? Watch. Haha. You guys see it? See the HVAC in one stays still, but now the chunk is over here. Watch, I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna move that chunk to right here. Nice. There we go. I got about 6 inches of free conductor. That's methed up. Haha. Why, thank you, sir. Why, thank you. Okay. Yeah. Let's put some, I don't have any more green. If I had a longer green, we'll just go bare. We're in a house. We'll go bare. Magnets for the win. There we go. Move this over here. Hey, my tripod breaking again? Try to get these wires out of your guys' face, pretty much. We're gonna replace, well, we're out of green wire actually. So we don't have very much green wire. That's all we got. Well, that is what it is. I'm gonna have to use a green wire nut to save my wire. I think I got a green wire nut somewhere. You know, one of the ones with the pass-through. I don't know why that's not easy to strip right now. Usually these strippers strip really good. Right now they're just not stripping. The wires, like, I don't know. Must be a nick in it or something. It's weird. I'm gonna get one of those green wire nuts that do the thing. Toss them a dollar bill. Green wire nut, you don't need no green wire nuts. We're just doing a whole bunch of different ways to do things tonight. We actually might be out of green wire nuts. Which I pretty much only own because I have a YouTube channel. I think I have one. I do. I have one green wire nut in this pack out. Or whatever you want to call it. Ha! Sweet. Messy shop. Messy shop. Hang on. Perfect. Wrong button. Wrong button again. There we go. Slide this back as far like that. There we go. And now it's ready for a device. I don't know what you guys can see. Ah, that's good enough. That's what those are used for, by the way, in case you didn't know. They're kind of crappy because when you go to put your device on, you have this giant wire nut right behind it to stop you from folding anything in beautifully. Ideally what you want is more length on that, but we could still do that, but yeah, there you go. It's kind of bugging me how effing short this is. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna redo it. We're gonna cut this one short, and we're gonna take the long one, the one that goes to the box, and leave it the long one. So we'll make this joint up way back here, back towards the box, way back here, nice and shitty like. There we go. So the wires still are the same length. We haven't cut the length of the wire really. We've just changed the location on where the wire nut is. That way the wire nut's in the back of the box. instead of right behind the device. But yeah, anybody that thinks like they're going to buy these and it's going to be trendy and it's going to be cool because whatever, they're not faster. Like all this stuff really slows you down. The ground clips, all that stuff. All it does is just slow you down. Cool. And then these are my hots, so we're just going to tap these off. Let's see, I don't think we've used these tonight. What the fuck, the receptacle? Yeah. Actually, we're going to put one of these on here. There we go. That way, when this is behind my head, we've got a bunch of different examples of what to do and what not to do. Cool. So now we can turn the power on. There we go. And check our plug. So if you want to check on one of these receptacles, you got to plug them both in like this. Give it a little wiggle to get them both plugged in. And then we can turn it to volts here. So we're getting 121 there. We want to check the hot to the ground though. So we want to pull out the neutral and then go to the ground to see if we grounded the box properly, which we did. But you can't just plug into the hot on a tamper-proof receptacle because it's tamper-proof. So you have to plug in the hot and neutral, give it a little wiggle. And then once you're in, now we can pull out the neutral and then go to the hot. And you can see where this plug is just not making contact. There we go. There you go. So we got 120 there. Now what happens when we have GFCI and let's see how good our GFCI is, guys. How good you guys think the GFCI is? I'm going to show you a trick on how I trip receptacles. Okay. You get two wires. The amateur way is to fold this in a U and plug it in. What we're going to do what I usually do is you got to plug them in one at a time like this. Okay. Now, if we touch this back here, we don't mark up the customer's wall. You should never trip, test circuits or trace circuits this way. But as opposed to plugging this in here like this, you get the customer's wall black and charred. Looks pretty bad. If you bring the wire further away, your arc is out here and not so close to the workpiece. No, you don't. What did Owen say? You always twist solid wires, not a question. Dude, I twist everything, man. I twist it all. I twist solid, I twist stranded, I twist everything. Always. Always, always, always have. Use the freaking line breaker finder, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But if you are gonna plug crap in and do it stupid, don't do that. Yeah, we got the ET450. Okay. We're gonna get this thing down now. So now what we can do, we can get rid of our extension cord. So we had our extension cord here for our light up there. And then we also had another extension cord that was plugging in the power for this. So now we can plug our bench in here. Yay. And then we got our light. Cool. See all this glare? This is what we're trying to fix. So you got a lot of whitewash here. I should probably close this panel. It's not energized, guys, but it just looks ominous. Maybe we should just leave it open. Or you just pretend to fall in it. Or just be like, ah. It's off, guys. The panel's for YouTube. Yeah. Cutting and twisting and then trimming the strand is aggravating. What's up, Christian Roofer, maybe? Certified electrician from Germany. Nice. Yeah, man, personally, I always twisted everything. Never had any issues. Ugh, it's always a hot debate. Do you twist or do you, oh, I just hit the roof. Do you twist or what do you do? I think what we're going to do, we're going to take this down. No, we need a number of things. These are so easy to mount, man. Klein has some of the best racking for actually holding hand tools. Like this can be in your Klein rolling, pack out box, whatever you call it, your mod box. These all fit in your mod box. So imagine just having like a layout of tools in your box like that, or you get the magnet or whatever. Klein has some really, really good options for that. So they can also mount on your wall really easily. I don't really want to take this down. But it reflects glare back at the camera. And it has got to go. It's got to go. Okay. Now we got to test the glare. So we saw the glare before. Is it less? No, of course we got to plug it in. Hang on. Dale Nash, what's up? Wire with solar wire, does NEC required to be in metal conduit? Yes. Yes, I will show you that. Hang on a second. I've got the first NEC question of the night. Oh, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you we're in the code book right now. It's not solar wire. It's specifically DC. I'm going to show you why. Hang on. Oh man. Okay. By the way, guys, these are from Walmart. They're like slippers, but they have a sole, and they don't ground you because we just tested tonight. $20. Okay, we're gonna go 690. 690. 690 and it's not, is it? It's in the bottom right of this book. 690. Give me a second to find it. It is here. Grounding. I think it's in the bottom right of the book, isn't it? I think I'm the only person that kind of knows where things are based on where they're located in the book. Okay, so this is what it says. Okay. It says DC, direct current circuits on or in buildings. Where inside buildings, PVC DC circuits that exceed 30 volts or 8 amps shall be contained in metal raceways. In type MC metal clad cable that complies with 250.11810 or in metal enclosures. So the answer to your question is no, because you can have microinverters on your roof that have AC power. So you don't have to be in metal raceways with solar 100% guaranteed. It's not a thing. What I'm seeing right now, I'm actually getting less glare from this light because I'm not getting any reflection. What we just took down. So we just took down like a pretty big large glass thing. And I think I'm getting less glare without it. I'm about to put it back up to see. Hang on. I've been trying to get this done for like 2 weeks now. So if this is just chilling here. Yeah, we definitely get the glare. You get the light glare, obviously, but you also kind of get like a surrounding glare around me. Ah, it's better. It's like HD. It's like, it's the difference. Yeah, it's different. It's different. We figured it out. Awesome. All right, let me check the chat. See here. Appreciate it. Anyone stuck doing GFCI everything in kitchens, including ranges yet? See so many issues with the future and more expensive 2-pole GFCI breakers? Yes. Definitely. Let me just catch up with the chat here. Yeah, so basically, you know, the code is so bad now, we actually have to install GFCIs in commercial kitchens now for 3-phase equipment. So you you're having to put modules, like the Chick-fil-A's that I'm inspecting. If you guys didn't know, I'm an electrical inspector, by the way. So the GFCI's, even for three-phase stuff, is thousands of dollars for the modules. And these guys are having to do that. If you didn't bid for three-phase GFCI's, man, it's not going to be a good day for you when final comes around. Definitely ADHD, yeah. What's up, Lewis? We love GFCI, not 3K modules though. Yeah, they in houses. This is the deal with GFCIs, I think, right? I'm still getting a little bit of glare. That light's pretty bright. This is the deal in houses and stuff. Like, if as an inspector, right, we inspect buildings. We're not appliance inspectors. So if you jumper your grounds and neutrals in your appliance, you can do that. Whatever you got to do. If you got a 3-wire cord and you want to jump your grounds and neutrals in your appliance, that's on you. If you install a 4-wire device on 3 wires in the wall, I'm going to make you rip out every inch of existing cable and re-pull that to a 4-wire cable. When you buy an appliance, you never know exactly how it's wired, right? You could be going for years and the appliance could be wired where the grounds and neutrals are touching inside the appliance itself. And then you buy a new house and it's got GFCI breakers. It's not going to like the grounds and neutrals touching in that appliance. So do your diligence when you're installing these GFCIs in customers' houses. Pull their appliance apart and see if those grounds and neutrals are touching, because that could be part of your problem. A lot of people think there's like a 30-minute, 45-minute burn-in where the oven gets used to doing something, and what they do is they take the new oven, they remove the GFCI or dual function, whatever it is, out of the panel. They run the oven for an hour. They do like a burn-in, and for like new apartments and stuff, it's a big issue. I would say check the appliance. The appliance probably has the grounds and neutrals bonded inside of it. And all you have to do is separate them because you got a 4-wire plug and you got a 4-wire cord. I have to say it's fun learning all this. I wish I could hire an electrician to do all this, but if I had to, I couldn't afford to do this. E4G is really nice. Mid. Nice. What about, say, a 3-wire running into a receptacle from running a GFCI situation? 3-wire running into a receptacle from running a GFCI. You're talking about protecting 3-wire running into a receptacle from running a GFCI. Yeah. Yeah, same thing. Same thing. The grounds and neutrals can't be touching at some point. So if you got a 3-wire, your grounds and neutrals are touching. They have to. It's in your appliance. Your grounds and neutrals are bonded together. So if you got 3-wire at your house, which a lot of people do, your appliance has a jumper inside of it. Say you're wiring bathrooms. Man, this wall is empty without this freaking board here. This wall is very empty. I could put the whiteboard up. Maybe we should put the whiteboard up. They have nice stuff at Home Depot. Yeah, stay away from Amazon receptacles. Yeah. Say you're wiring a bathroom and you want to protect this plug with this GFCI. You can do that. You can come on the load side of this, and you can protect this plug on the load side of this. Dropped it. Subjects I occasionally run into the 3 wires coming into that GFCI. Oh. Receptacle to a GFCI. Occasionally I run into having 3 wires. Are they HOTS or just 3 wires total? What brand bender? Man, I like Ideal. I like Ideal's benders. I want to try out the new Klein benders. I've been rocking Ideal for years. I've got 5% battery, guys. 5% battery. If I got 5% battery, it's too late. Like, we got to end the stream now. I can try to find a plug, but man, 5% battery is not enough to hang on. I've got a GFCI here. I mean, not a GFCI. I got a USB here. Yeah, dude, this thing's going to die. This phone is going to die. If this phone dies, the stream goes off and we lose everything. We plugged it in at 2%. What are you reading? Let me see. Zathium 690.31D1 2023. Was that the DC code for metal raceways? Some kid probably got hurt by putting a coffee pot off the island. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Actually, it was a crock pot. Joe says, what's up with the code? I'm going to tell you about the code. The code is crazy. And we are still here. So we managed to plug in at 2% battery to a pretty high power USB. So we'll see what happens. Receptacle for the GFCI occasionally run into having 3 wires coming to that GFCI. So you should have a hot, a neutral, and a ground. 3 wire depending on 2A, 240 appliances need the neutral. Seen a lot of island receptacle talk. What's up with the code on that? We're going to get to that. 12.2 total, 14.2. Power ground and neutral as your 3 wires. Any thoughts if we're going to see a 10 amp single pole wiring for lighting? I think so. I think it's going to happen. There's too many track homes that won't benefit off of that. It's going to be a minute before we see it, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm not looking forward to it. Receptacle is not required on islands, but must power be provided in case receptacles want an island in the future. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I've got to move my tripod because I have to stay plugged in. But this is good. I'm kind of getting everything that I wanted to get done tonight taken care of as far as getting this thing set back up. Okay. What I'm going to do now. Jeez. Oh my goodness. This is the only place you guys fit. Let me go get the whiteboard. Nice. It just fits. Beautiful. Okay. Okay. You don't know, you got here, but it's good stuff. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We need to turn the light on. Above our head, I think. That high powered. Okay, I think this is good. Receptacles for islands. This is what is required. I gotta remember my microphone is dead. So hopefully you guys can still hear me. Okay. This is what's going on. For your islands, okay, you have to have a receptacle. Still. These are your options for receptacles. You can have a receptacle in the island, which would be a pop-up. So we can have a pop-up. Okay. We can have within 20 inches of the top of the countertop. So if we were looking at a situation where we had overhead cabinets and the countertop is down here, you can have the under cabinet receptacles within 20 inches. And that is going to be also allowed. So we can have UC receptacles within 20 inches, right? We can have it in the backsplash. We can have it in the backsplash. So we're going to backsplash. Or there's one more. Backsplash. Pop up. Under cabinet. Backsplash. Yeah. Okay. Or we can have a future provision. So future receptacle. Okay. So that's some backwards whiteboard. Damn. Hang on. Let me fix it. Is it backwards? Is it written backwards for you? Because it's backwards for me. I can flip the camera. Damn. Okay, hang on a second. That's hilarious. Let me see what we're gonna do here. Oh, I can't move this thing very much. Okay, let me flip it. I can't see the chat, but I can. Let me flip it. I can't get it closer, man. We're plugged into a USB. It's about as good as I can get. There. Okay, so any one of these four. Okay, this is going to be our island. Now, what the old code used to say, if we want to get technical, if this was our overhang, what we used to be able to do was we could put a receptacle here, right? And if we didn't have more than 6 inches of overhang, and we weren't lower than 12 inches, we could put a receptacle here. And what happened is there was appliances that were on countertops that were plugged in, and kids were getting crushed and they were pulling them off. So they said, okay, we're no longer going to allow the receptacles below the countertop. So they came up with this. This is what they came up with. A pop-up. So this is our countertop. We can install one of those pop-up receptacles and then it pushes back down. If we had a backsplash, where maybe you had, this would be like your sink, and then you had like a backsplash raised up area, and then you had like a bar area where someone could sit. So if you were sitting here entertaining, you had bar stools back here, and it would look like this on the side, I guess. It would look like this, where like this, and then like this. That's wrong. Sorry. Damn, that is confusing. Right there. There we go. I regret trying to draw that. It looked like this. So this is like where the sink is, right? Then you had a backsplash that kind of came up this way. And then you had another countertop here. And it was like raised up. So pretty much you had a countertop with a backsplash and then a taller bar area over the top of that. It did this, right? You could put plugs in the backsplash, is what I'm trying to say. You can put plugs in the backsplash. You can have under cabinet, which would look god awful, but if you had your countertop here, and for some reason you had cabinets that were just hanging above your kitchen island in the middle of your floor, you could have receptacles here within 20 inches. Or you can provide a future receptacle. So what that looks like is, if this is your counter, this is inside of your cabinet with the door open, I guess you would say. So you got your plumbing and everything back there. Plumbing, P-traps coming, going up to your sink, right? That is a terrible P-trap. You have your receptacle here. That's going to be for your dishwasher. Disposal. You can install a future junction box. So you have to have provisions already installed. So you still have to run your wire to your junction box, but you can have a future provision to install a cabinet countertop plug later, which is stupid because they're just going to install it in the wrong spot anyway. They're just trying to take liability off of themselves for allowing you to put it in the wrong spot. Here's the deal. If we have a countertop, okay? If we have a countertop and we have that future provision, let's put the F for the future. And there's wire, UF cable, and PVC already routed here. We've met the code with the future. There's no reason why you can't install more receptacles, because you provided the future receptacle. If you want to have receptacles underneath your countertop, you can now, because you've already met the requirement of the code. So we already have the bare minimum, because the way the code words it, it says basically the countertop intended for the use, or the receptacle intended for the use of the countertop must be one of the four. So if you provide this one, you can install more if you want to, because these receptacles are not intended for the countertop. They're intended for vacuums or anything else like that. Powered mops, whatever. You can play whatever kind of game you want and play dumb in court, if somebody does hurt themselves on their receptacle and say, Your Honor, this is my intended receptacle here. I've got to pop up. That's what they should have used. I provided my requirement per the code, for the minimum. This receptacle was not intended for use because I provided the receptacle. This is the one that I intended, not this one. You can play that game because you've met the bare minimum of the code. But that's basically what you can do. You have to have a future or one of these to have any one of these. You cannot put just a receptacle underneath the countertop and call it good. That's illegal. Check a chat. Grabbing my phone. There we go. So there's an island. You have to provide an option. Yeah, you have to provide one of those four. What's up, George? Always mix and match 14-2 or 12-2 in a house. Tying them all together. What? I just came into the back end of that conversation. Yeah, good point. Just asking for a set in what right. It happens all the time here. All the time. Let's see here. You can run 49 receptacles on one GFCI. Yeah, I don't see why not. Should be in manufacturing installation instructions. That's a good answer. That's always the best answer. What's the installation instructions say? Always. Yeah, government knows what's going on. What's going on? Drones, yeah. Exactly. Do they have receptacles? Nice, nice, nice. Cool, we covered it. The future option is crazy but smart. It's something. Here's my requirements. When I see that and someone wants to do a future receptacle, this is what I make them do. First off, it can't be a plug. It can't be a receptacle. It has to be a junction box, because if it's a receptacle, that's not for future. That's a full intent on being able to plug something in down below. So first off, it has to be a receptacle. Next, because it's intended as a countertop circuit, it has to be a countertop circuit or a separate circuit. It can't be with the lights. It can't be with the dishwasher and disposal. It can't be with the microwave, because you got 50% cord and plug. So once you exceed the 50% cord and plug rule, it's got to have its own circuit. So microwave has 1600 watts, 2000 watts, whatever it is. That's more than 50% of the circuit. It's got to be a dedicated circuit. So so the requirements are it's got to be one of the small appliance branch circuits, one of the refrigeration circuits, because you're allowed to have refrigeration on those small appliance branch circuit. It's an exception. You can have refrigeration equipment or a clock outlet on the small appliance branch circuit. Well, I went to retail work a few years ago. I'm trying to learn. I was never really taught. We had to run back to being a green guy. Yeah. Good night, man. See you later. See you later, Jermaine. Does the dryer need a dedicated circuit? Yeah. Yes. That's actually part of your yeah, so your 50% cord and plug is actually the reason why you can share your dishwasher and disposal on the same circuit typically. Is for that rule specifically. So what you usually have for a kitchen is the bare minimum for a kitchen. I think I always figured 5, right? You got 2 small appliance branch circuits. You're going to at least have some lights over there. You're going to have a microwave. And you're going to have a dishwasher and disposal. And if you don't have a microwave, then you got some kind of vent hood. And keep in mind, the vent hood can't be with the small appliance branch circuits. So you're bringing a circuit there whether you like it or not. You can put on the damn lights if you want to. But typically, minimum 5 circuits. 2 small appliance branch circuits. You at least can have some kind of lighting. Dishwasher and disposal. Microwave or vent hood. Because microwave and vent hood cannot be with the dishwasher and disposal. It cannot be with the small appliance branch circuits. Yes, and then you plug your RV into it, of course. Does the dryer need a dedicated circuit? Yeah. That vent hood thing blowing. Yeah, technically the spark igniter for your freaking oven isn't even supposed to be on the small appliance branch circuit. So that gets kind of... That's where do you want to be an asshole or not, you know? Because you go to these old remodels and it's bound to be on the small appliance branch circuit. But then you look at it, you're like, yo, it's just for a spark igniter, you know? Am I really going to make them rip up all this damn sheetrock over a spark igniter? So that gets complicated, man. It's... Yeah, they got exceptions. Good old remodels is what was the death of me there. Yeah, you can... You got to be careful on those remodels, man. They will get you. Especially if you're not up to the code and then inspector comes around and has a whole bunch of stuff. Is it true electricians refuse to clean up after themselves? No, man, it's just a myth. It's funny, man. The companies that I work for, we all cleaned up. You have to clean up. You're one of those contractors that's like 5-star or something. It's sometimes those guys like you know, big general contractors and stuff. They'll grab the newest guy, like the greenest guy from every trade. And on Fridays, they'll sweep the whole job. And you just gotta you donate one apprentice's time the whole day just to clean. So the company that I work for, man, we always cleaned up. But being an electrical inspector and seeing just you know, yeah, man, electricians don't clean anything. It's pretty funny. There's always some kind of wire. It's just little pieces of wire, man. It's so harmless, right? You strip this wire here, you cut this piece off here, or whatever it is, man. It's used to be that green guy cleaner. Nice. Someone said constantly tripping the breaker, but I didn't see. Constantly blowing the main fuse. Joseph H. The vent hood blowing. Oh. Hello, the main fuse. When does it do it? So 600K full of floor sheathing scrap. Yeah. My power company replaced my pole. It came yesterday to move my line and the new pole. Weird, no power on the line. I hauled up there and to shut the power off. Okay, that makes sense. My power company replaced my pole, and it came yesterday to move my line to the new pole. I hollered up to him that I shut the power off. Yeah. Will dropping a toaster in the bathtub really electrocute you? Not if you have a GFCI. Probably be just fine. But yeah, dropping a toaster, you got resistive heat. You got resistive heat. So anything with resistance isn't going to trip a breaker. It's going to energize the water, and then you got resistive heat with high amperage. It's gonna hurt. Basically, if you don't have the source, it ain't gonna trip the breaker. Should bathrooms, fan, heat, light have AFCI protection for a new install? No. No. AFCI is not required in bathrooms, garages, outside, or attics. With an exception to attics. Being GFCIs now are required for the refrigeration equipment for maintenance, basically. So if you've got a serviceable piece of equipment in the attic, you have to put a GFCI breaker or something. Sorry, my light turned off. Oh, we had no reading of resistance on the power because I shut the power off to the house. Oh, I got you. Nice. Electric water heater, very high bill, yeah. Yeah, any AC in the attic requires GFCI protection. Receptacle. Please clarify 690.31D1. I'm trying to switch one page. There we go. D1. D1. Flexible wire methods. For flexible metal conduit smaller than 3/4 or 1 inch, contains PV circuit conductors installed across ceilings or floor joists, or raceway cable shall be protected by a sustainable guard strip that's at least as high as a raceway cable will run and exposed. Other than 6 feet of their connection equipment, these wire methods shall closely follow the building surface. That one? Ceilings or floor joists or raceways. Six feet of their connection to the equipment. Okay, so basically, you wanted the I have electric ceiling heat. Is that frying me with radiation? Probably not. 6931. The DC thing? D? Just D? $690.31. All raceway and cable wire methods, including this code and fittings specifically listed for PV, shall be permitted where wiring devices with integral enclosures are used. Sufficient length of cable shall be provided to facilitate replacement. And then where PV sources and output circuits containing voltages shall be guarded or installed in type MC cable or in a raceway. Capacity of 105 conductors shall be determined by table for ambient temperatures creating in accordance. Let's see here. 30 volts, readily accessible locations. Guarded or installed in type MC or in a raceway. Okay, appreciate it, John. We'll see you later. It's frying your ledger bill. Oh, D1. D1. Okay, so D1. No. D. I think you mean D. 1. You're talking about the direct current circuits on or in buildings. Sorry, I've got the 2020. My bad. My bad. You're talking about direct current circuits on or in buildings. We're inside buildings. PV system DC circuits that exceed 30 volts and 8 amps shall be contained in metal raceways. Type MC metal clad cable that complies with TVDL 118 or metal enclosures. Right? I think that's what you're talking about. I'd have to go get my 23. I probably... It's around here somewhere. Basically, if it contains DC, then it's got to be an MC or flex. Yeah. So basically, it's got to be in metal flex or something like that, EMT, something that complies with 250.118, which is EMT, rigid. There's a number of different things, right? If it's DC, but there's systems like Enphase that run AC cable or they run AC voltage. So off of your roof, you don't have DC coming down, you have AC. It's already inverted. So you don't have to worry about DC being a thing. All right, let me go get a code book. Hang on. This is the one I do inspections with, and it is well used. Let's see here, 690. Even those pages are falling out. Let's see here. And you'll notice my book isn't tabbed because tabs just help you rip your pages faster. Plus, I kind of know where everything is already anyway. B. One more page. Oh, there goes another page. Add it to the list. Add it to the list of pages that are falling out of the book. E. D. Yeah. Yeah, metal raceways and enclosures. We're inside buildings. Type MC cable that complies with 215 or metal enclosures. Cool. Yes. Yeah, journeyman's test's easy. I take those for fun every once in a while, just to help you guys know how to look. We'll do 20 questions out of a journeyman's test every so often, just randomly. Never actually got that as far as just working under the company as a helper. I think I only did about 4 years. Past journeyman test advice. Can I be a mod? Man, the mods on here have been around for years. We'll see how often you show up. Need to take a bit in service for years. 7 years. Nice, nice, nice. So, yeah, basically what that guy's asking about is DC must be in a metal raceway. Period, right? DC must be a metal raceway. It's got to comply with 250.118. So if you look at that, it talks about what's considered as a grounding conductor, and different raceways can be counted as a grounding conductor. And then that's what you got to install for DC. If you have N phase, yeah. If you have N phase, it's AC cable coming down, so you can run Romex. One in three sounds like my internet search history. Yeah. All right. So, well, we got the whiteboard up, which I think might even add glare. The whiteboard might add glare. I don't know yet. It's hard to tell. I think the whiteboard adds glare. That light is definitely bright. I'm trying to reduce glare. See, that adds a lot of glare. That's a bright light. And I can't really move my camera over because I still only got 15% battery. What's crazy is AC turns to DC on UPS battery backup systems. Yeah, they use batteries to maintain the storage. Mine is a string system with a single inverter, so it's metal for me. String and the string systems is a really good way to go. It's about the angle of the light. Yeah. Well, right now there's not too much I can do because I can't move my camera because it's plugged into the wall. So we're stuck with this glare right now. Nothing I can do about it. Can't move the phone. Get out of the way. Yep. It's more the lights than add the glare. Yeah. It's hard to compare it to anything right now because this is where I can move. Phone almost died earlier. Put up an umbrella. Yeah. Sorry for spamming. No worry, man. Cow's crazy. It's all good. Dude, we got over 100 likes on this stream, man. I know we've been going for a while, but what do you think about a 15 amp receptacle on a 20 amp breaker? Let's look at that. But we're not using this code book. We're using the 20. So if we go to 110, and we look at 110.21b3 right here in the code, right there, right there. So what is the question? Question is 15 amp receptacle on 20 amp breaker. Let's see. 15 amp receptacle. You can do it. So it says here 15 amp receptacle is okay on a 20 amp breaker. Why? What do I think about it? It's probably fine. It's probably fine. Most of your appliances that, yes, exactly. Let me get into that. Most of your appliances that are capable of pulling a huge load have that dash for a reason. So it's pretty hard to load up one receptacle with a full load of 20 amps because the manufacturer is required to put that line that will not plug into a 15 amp receptacle. You can't prevent everything, stupid, but they did pretty good on that. Now, what we have here, it says hang on, I gotta find it. Where's the code here? We're connected to the branch circuit supplying two or more receptacle or outlets. The receptacle show, no, not that one. Single receptacle installed on individual branch circuit shall have an ampere rating not less than that of the branch circuit. There you go. So B1, 220.20 B1 says single receptacles installed on an individual branch circuit shall have an ampere rating not less than that of the branch circuit. So if you install a 15 amp receptacle, single 15 amp on, it's got to be on a 15 amp breaker. If you install a single 20 amp receptacle, got to be on a 20 amp breaker. Yeah. Yep. Nancy says it's fine, yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, I think that's all I got, man. I got everything I wanted to get done. The only thing that I wanted to do was possibly put a notch in these with the grinder. But being that my neighbors would probably hate me, these have potential, man. If they had a better grab in the front, it makes me want to just learn how to weld so I could make my own thing. Notch, something. They need this. They need that. Just something. Twin grip combo. Even if they had some cross hatching, man, that would be cool. Cross hatching would be cool. Just like a Klein. If they just had that, even, you know. But they just have flats. And then they'd be really cool. But no, the Knipex stuff is impressive. We started off this stream by literally twisting a screw in half. What's up, George? Appreciate it, George. Go check out George's channel, man. He's got some Northern Lights videos that are just amazing. Use it on your beard hair. You love insulated tools. These just have a good grip. They're not really insulated. The Milwaukees that I had earlier are insulated, but they're just okay. The Milwaukee stuff is just okay. I'm not a huge fan of it. It works, don't get me wrong. It works. I don't know, man. These haven't left the house, right? I don't really do too many dumb stuff with them. And they get stuck right there to where I've got to like push them still closed. Like that. Like you see how like I'm having to like push to get them to close. Which means they're going to get freaking stuck closed, right? And then you got to yuck them open. I don't know why they started doing that. It's kind of irritating. Because they've just sat in a pouch looking pretty. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Interesting. They're still open. It's kind of nice that they kind of stop right there, honestly. Because they don't really fight you. Could be a feature. Just when they get stuck closed, it's like open. You'll flick them. They're not bad though. They're not bad. These need this flare out. I think sometime soon we're going to bend these to flare them out. I don't know how we're going to do it. Because the grips are so nice, man. They've got the grips go through the tool on both sides. It's going to be really hard to flare this handle out without messing up my grips. Try spitting on it. Try a Knipex, yeah. We got pliers or whatever. I kind of agree with that. They are whatever. These are beautiful. These are really well made. And they do what they should be doing best. Actual needle nose things, right? They actually have a long needle nose on them. Like the Klein ones are made for more like abuse, I guess you would say, and less dexterity. But if you're going to get needle nose, you need them for the dexterity. We'll see you later, Joseph Esch. We're out of here anyway, guys. We will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for hanging out and Rusty, yeah. Those are for getting some crazy spots. Yeah. These are nice when you're trying to do like some impossible wall fishes where you're using that angled or that flexible bit and you're having to do crazy stuff. But yeah, we'll see you guys later. I appreciate it, Dylan. We'll see you guys.